Hello viewers and airgun lovers, welcome back to Ohio Airgun Shooter. What I have here is the HK USP from Umarex. It's a CO2 powered 4.5mm blowback air pistol, which is constructed of a polymer or plastic frame and a metal slide. This one, when I purchased it, did not come in a box. It only came in a plastic blister pack. It has a claimed velocity of up to 325 feet per second. Again, blowback, magazine capacity of 16 rounds. Again, fires 4.5mm or .177 caliber steel BBs. Again, powered by a 12-gram CO2 cartridge, and it does have a drop-free magazine. See, here's the owner's manual. It did come with the basic Umarex literature, your Allen key, and a few other Umarex pamphlets. I've had it for well over a year now, so I haven't really done a review. I did a few shorts on it, and I might have shot it a couple times, but I haven't really did a video, like this for it yet. So that's what I'm going to do today. Let's do a little bit of a walk around here. Again, it is constructed of a polymer or plastic frame and a metal slide. It is blowback. It does lock back after the last shot. There's the drop-free magazine. Again, holds 16 rounds. See-through port. Double and single action. So here's the single action and double action. Has a very large trigger guard. Safety is only on one side, as is the slide catch and release. Has an ambidextrous magazine release, however, it's just kind of an overcross switch, which you can access from both sides. It does have a decock. This is safe. Fire, and then you can decock it as well. Not a whole lot of white markings. It's more of like a silverish gray type of paint, it looks like. It does have the warning on the side here. I mean, it stands out a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's not a bright white. Again, it's more like a silverish, kind of grayish color. The HK logo. License, trademark of Heckler and Koch. Bit of a recessed barrel. You can see the brass barrel inside there. Again, blowback. Does have a free-floating barrel. White dots, rear and front. The rear sight, I don't know if it's adjustable. I don't see any screws. You may be able to access it from underneath, but from what it looks like, it doesn't look to be adjustable. It will not fire with the safety on. You can cock it and everything, but it won't fire. Very nice texturing on the grip, both on the sides, the front and back. It's a pretty good gun, good sized. It's got nice weight to it. I mean, the magazine adds about twice the weight to it. Very heavy duty pistol. It is field strippable from this little button here. It's more or less the pin for your slide catch here. You just kind of line it up and then just push it through with your finger, and it will pop out, and you can pull it out, and then it should slide off. But what we'll do today is load up some BBs and some CO2, run across a chronograph, and do a little accuracy testing with it as well. And since it is an Umarex product, we'll go ahead and be using Umarex brand CO2 cartridges as well as Umarex brand steel BBs. These are made in Taiwan. Again, the drop-free magazine houses the CO2 cartridge. I'm going to apply a drop of crossbone Peligon oil to the top if I got any left in here. There we go. Getting kind of low. Need to go get some more. Install it. Tip first. Reinstall your cap. Be careful. These have a tendency to want to cross thread. Some are a little bit, I found out, harder, a little more difficult to get in than others. Just sometimes they just don't want to line up when you just get it started. Don't give you a whole lot of room in here to get in here with your fingers. That's the problem. You can see here, just maybe? Nope. See, it just wants to cross thread. All right, I finally got it started. That took, yeah, sometimes they're just, you got to get them in there kind of just right. It kind of sits at an angle. So it just can get a little frustrating trying to get those in. Plus it just sits so low, you don't have a lot of room to hold on to it with your fingers before the threads start, because they kind of sit down in there. So, but I finally got it. And look, a little tiny hiss. You probably didn't hear it, but I heard it. So we got it gassed up. Now we'll just load up the BBs. Just simply pull the follower down. It will lock into place, because when it pull it down, the tip of the follower wants to lift up and kind of catch the notch. But that's actually where you need to stick the BBs in. So you kind of got to bring it down a little further, get it out of there, and then bring it down further. That way you can have, you know, that little notch or slot, whatever, to fit your BBs in. Otherwise, you got to load them through the top. So I'm gonna load up 15. And just do groups of 15. So I'll do 2 magazines on the same CO2 cartridge of 15 for the chronograph, and then we'll switch to the accuracy testing. So let me go ahead and get these loaded up. All right, I got the 15 loaded up. You can kind of see they're kind of double stacked in there. So 15 loaded up. Again, we'll do 2 magazines of 15. I only have the 1 magazine for this, so I'll do 15. Let it warm up a little bit, and then I'll do another 15. See what kind of velocities we're getting, and then we'll move to some accuracy testing. So I'm going to move over to the table, set up the chronograph, and we'll start shooting. All right, I'm all set up with the chronograph. It's locked into feet per second. Have the H&K USP from Umarex. I have 15 of the Umarex brand steel BBs loaded up. They're supposed to be like 5.1 grains. However, I weighed these and I got an average of like 5.3 grain. So we have a claimed velocity again of up to 325 feet per second. Indoor temperature is 71 degrees Fahrenheit. My furnace is actually on. This will be the first shot off a fresh CO2 mag. Let's see how well we do. I'll start out in single action. .29.8, so we've already exceeded the 325 feet per second. 328.0, so you can see pretty good blowback. 331.2, actually climbing. 332.0. 332.9, 329.0. This thing's actually pretty loud. 331.9, 328.6, 328.1, 323.3, so we finally dropped under the 325. 321.2, 326.7, so back over to 325. 320.6, 314.1, 325.4. So the very last shot, we're right at the 325 again. So not bad. That was 15 shots. I'm going to reload, allow a CO2 warm up, and we'll get 15 more numbers. Again, it does have decock. Safety on. I'll be back. All right, I got 15 more BBs loaded up. This will be shots 16 through 30. It's been warming up for about 15 minutes. Safety off. Slide cocked. Let's see where we're at. 335.4. 333.7. 336.7. 336.0. I mean, much higher velocities second time around. This is probably one of the loudest blowback air guns that I have. It's just it's pretty loud. 335.5. 333.1. 325.0, so a bit of a drop there, but still at 325. Back up to 330.7. 326.6. 322.5, so below the 325. 324.3. Definitely cooling down and losing CO2. 322.6. Still respectable numbers though. Back over to 325 to 326.7. 323.7. 322.1. So very good steady numbers. I mean, had several there above 330 on the second 15 rounds off the same CO2 cartridge. So again, very hefty blowback on this thing. Again, it's quite loud for being just a CO2 pistol. I got to say, it's probably one of my loudest that I have. So let's move on to the accuracy testing. I'll just keep the same CO2 cartridge. See how we do. See how many shots we'll get per one CO2 cartridge. All right, for the accuracy, I got a paper target set up at 6 yards. Circles drawn are out 3 3/4, 3.75 inches in diameter. Again, I'll be shooting at a distance of 6 yards. We'll back up here. I will be shooting just with my elbows rested on the table. Now the goal here is just to get everything to land within that 3 1/4 inch circle. Get it to group as best as I can. I haven't really done this yet with the HK USP from Umarex. I have just 10 rounds loaded up. Same CO2 cartridge, so this will be shots 31 through 40. Zoom in a little bit more, and then we'll see how we go here. See how we do, not go. All right. Again, the goal is just to get whatever I can inside the circle. I'll be aiming just below the black dot. Start with the left target. Again, just with my elbows rested. Sight's pretty good with the white dots. Actually was a little low. Not sure where that one went. Seems to be shooting a bit low. Looks like the one outside the circle. We'll take a closer look. Again, that's shots 31 through 40. Again, I was aiming right here, so everything is low. Actually, first shot looks like the second shot was right here. I think that's a hole. Yeah. So first two shots, and I mean first two shots, and then there's pretty much the rest of them. I mean, that's a group. Again, 6 yards. Again, shots 31 through 40. Let me load up another 10 and try the right target. All right, I got another 10 of them loaded up. The only warm-up period was the time it took to reload these. Let's go back to the target. Zoom in a bit more. I'm gonna again shoot at the right target. I'm gonna adjust my aim up a little bit, just to actually I'm gonna aim above that black black dot. So instead of resting it on my sights, I'm gonna just aim over it a bit. See if I can bring this up a bit, up a little. Load it up. All right, let's see how we do here. This will be shots 41 through 50. Again, right target, aiming just above the black circle, black dot. By the time everything landed within the circle, seemed to start moving to the left a little bit, but overall, I mean, it's still a group. That's probably plenty enough for plinking. I mean, we're not going to win any field target awards, but I did hit one in the bullseye, so. But I mean, at 6 yards, I accomplished what I intended to, pretty much everything within the circle there, so. It's good enough for me. I mean, you can get those tighter. Again, that's shots, what, 51, or, let's see, yeah, 41 through 50. So, tell you what, let's do a little plinking and see what kind of damage we can do. All right, next up, just going to do a little plinking at a tin can and an aluminum can. I have an aluminum soda can on the left and a tin tuna can on the right. I'll go ahead and start with the tin. Try to punch a couple holes into that, through that, and then we'll move to the aluminum can. I have a full magazine, so a full 16 rounds. I haven't changed out the CO2 cartridge. So this will be shots, what, 51 through 60. So we'll see if I have enough CO2 gas pressure left to punch any holes in the tin can first. All right. That one just came back, but it looks like it put a hole in it. Put a couple holes. Try one more. All right, now the aluminum. CO2 seems to be out. Have a couple BBs left, but that was it. Not enough gas to get it to cycle, so we'll just end this here. But as you can see, it did have enough to punch a couple holes into the tin. Plenty for the aluminum, but just towards the end there started running out of CO2, so not quite 60 shots. So well, let's just go back to the review table and I'll give you my thoughts. All right, before we wrap this up, let's get a few readings with the trigger weight. 8 pounds, 12.0 ounces. This is in double action first. 8 pounds, 0.7 ounces. That was 6 pounds, 3.1 ounces. 8 pounds, 7.9 ounces. 6 pounds, 7.0 ounces. I think that one I kind of brought the gauge back with me. Let me try one more. Yeah, 6 pounds, 15.9 ounces. So we had a heavy of 8 pounds, 12.0 ounces, and a low of 6 pounds, 3.1 ounces. So let's try some single action. That was only 14.9 ounces. Try that again. That was up to 2 pounds, 15.9 ounces. 2 pounds, 1.2 ounces. That's probably more true to what it is. 1 pound, 6.8 ounces. 2 pounds, 5.6 ounces. Last one. 1 pound, 7.4 ounces. So, high of 2 pounds, 15.9 ounces, and a low of 14.9 ounces. So, pretty light. I don't know how accurate all those were, just different variables, like just movement, like bringing this thing back with the trigger pull, but I try to hold it as steady as I can, but at least we get a ballpark of what it is. The HK USP 4.5 millimeter blowback replica from Umarex. Velocity numbers were right at or above what was claimed. First 15 shots, we saw an average of 327.42 feet per second, and that was coming in at 1.71 joules. The second 15 rounds averaged at 328.9 feet per second with 1.72 joule of energy. The highest achieved out of the 30 shots was 336.7 feet per second, and that came in at 1.8 joule. So pretty good steady numbers, everything well above 300. it maintained that pretty well. Accuracy at 6 yards was pretty good. It did group, shot a little low, however. We did get 62 shots off a single CO2 cartridge. I had 3 left in the magazine. However, after the last time it didn't cycle, there was still 1, so that left 4. So I did load up a full 16 rounds, so that would have been what, 66. However, we didn't get that, so, but we did get 62. That's all the CO2 that was left, so 62 shots off of 1 CO2 mag. Penetration wise, I was surprised at that deep into the CO2 cartridge. I was actually able to make some holes in this tin tuna can. First shot was here, however it didn't go all the way through, but it did puncture it. And then I did get 2 more that actually penetrated. I actually had 1 hit back here. Actually, there's 2. You can see there's 2 little dents. So there was still enough energy to go through and dent the back of it. Plenty of energy to cut through the aluminum cans that deep into the cartridge. However, I did run out of gas, CO2. Had 4 rounds left, so again, 62 shots off of a single CO2 cartridge. It does have a very powerful blowback, so it definitely uses a lot of CO2, but what a fun replica. The HK USP from Umarex. Definitely can recommend it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.